Rick Hong here for Hollywood First Look. Today, I am talking with Eddie Redmayne, and we are talking his film, The Good Nurse. Let's take a first look.
Nurse Lochran, this is Officer Braun.
Do you remember Anna Martinez?
There you go. Yeah, her death. It was sudden.
Mind taking a look at this?
The insulin in her system, it's a double medication error, which is really rare.
We understand that you work with a Charlie Cullen. Could he be involved in this?
She and their lovebirds. I cannot get over how cute your Vanessa is.
Who's Vanessa?
Oh my God. There's insulin in her system.
Caregiver 103. Caregiver 103.
Eddie, so I've never had the pleasure until today, so I'm so excited to talk with you. And I got to tell you, like, the thumbnail popped on when the movie dropped. And of course, Eddie Redmayne, Jessica Chastain, I was like, I'm in, I'm playing this. And I got to say, there's nobody better to play this role of this really evil guy, but he's so unassuming is why he gets away with everything. And your performance, I was like, yes. I was like, Eddie brought it. And I kept thinking you're going to like do this like evil turn or something, but I never saw it. And I was like, that's how this guy got away with all these murders.
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you. But what I found intriguing about this story was that this was a man who in some ways was really empathetic. He was kind, he was gentle, he saved Amy Lochran, Jessica Chastain's character's life on the one hand. And then there was this other person. The real Amy described it as being disassociative, almost like she saw it as two different people. But hearing that from her meant that you could really lean into this kindness and kind of gentleness and this empathy, which of course then horrifically he weaponized.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, because when people talk about actors, I'm not an actor, but they would say, like, what's my character's motivation? And in this, the most frustrating thing, not only as a human, but maybe even you as an actor, is like when we get to the end and there's never real revelation of a why. So I don't know for you, if you're kind of like, oh, I've got to tap into something else, or I was wondering how, like, what you thought of that whole thing.
It's I definitely felt that when I read the script. And the more I investigated Charlie's story, the clearer it became that there was no obvious why. And it felt wrong in our depiction to sort of create one. I had lots of thoughts. This guy, his mum, he was very close to his mother, and his mother died when he was 15. And he was the first one to the hospital, and the hospital had lost her body. And it was that same hospital that years later he went back to train at when he decided to be a nurse. So I don't know if there was a certain fury with the system, but the guy was also mentally, or is mentally ill. He had been abused age 7. He had joined the Navy and been found in a submarine with his finger over the Poseidon missiles. This guy should never have been allowed anywhere near vulnerable people, and that's the astonishing thing.
You mentioned it before, and I was wondering, because it was one of my favorite scenes is where Jessica's character knows what Charlie's up to. And then she wakes up in the hospital and he's there. And like when we're watching it, there's a suspense of like, oh my gosh, she's worried for her life now. But I was wondering for you, if you already kind of knew the whole story, and if like how it is like reading that script, like just flipping the pages of like that scene. Because like for me as the viewer, I have no idea what's going on. For you as the actor, I don't know if you were privy to a lot of the stuff and like, okay, she's gonna live.
Yeah, I mean, when I read the script for the first time, I knew nothing of the story, and it revealed itself in the way that it revealed it to you. But what was lovely is that Tobias Lindholm, our director, who's a brilliant man, he and Krysty Wilson-Cairns, our wonderful writer, they fitted out any moments that felt fetishized or kind of the genre, I suppose. So even that moment, which has a tension and a fear to it, was relatively simple to play, because I was just playing the truth. Like at that moment, Charlie, the audience is going, does Charlie suspect? But Charlie doesn't. Charlie has a sort of an innocence to him, I suppose. So it's the way it was filmed, and Jessica's fear creates the tension rather than me having to play anything.
The movie is The Good Nurse. You can find it streaming on Netflix now.
He's been at 9 hospitals. 9.
What do you mean? No, the hospital would have done something.
You would think so.
Yeah. Do you remember working with someone named Charlie Cullen?
Yeah. There was a rumor about him. They found insulin in a dead guy's saline bag.
Hey, girls.
Come, sit.
Why are you being weird, Mom?
He's been killing people without ever touching them. He's gonna get a new job, and it's all gonna continue.
I hope you guys can hear me. He's walking right now. Hey.